All right, let's talk about using router with Express. So router is a self-contained collection of routes and middleware. We're going to get to that later. Let's first see uh, that if we have to build a simple feature like an admin page and we want to not use the router, how will it look like if you're not using the router? So let's say that if I want to go to a URL slash admin, I should see an admin page. First step. All right, let's do that. So app.get, and I'm going to say over here slash admin and function request.response, and then response.render, and then let's just render index. Of course, I don't really have any views, so let's create a folder and let's call it views. Inside the views folder, we can actually add a new file, which is index.mustache, and then we can say this is the admin index page. So that's what it is. All right. All right, let's go ahead and visit that. All right, so definitely it's working, admin index page. But we actually need to validate that if you're admin, I mean, anyone can just put the URL and just go to the admin page. That's not good, right? So we'll have some validation code over here, validation code to validate if the user is admin. Okay, we're going to get the request. We're going to look in the session, maybe in the cookies, if the person is admin. If the person is admin, then we are going to go ahead and return the index page because that's the admin page. Well, we also want to do something else. We also want to list all the users for admin. Maybe admin wants to do some sort of a bookkeeping. So how about admin, and then we can say user. I don't know if I can actually add this. Let's go ahead and do that. Request, response. All right. Let's first go ahead and see if this route is working or not. So let's go to admin slash user list. Okay, so definitely working. And let's go ahead and add a new file, most probably, and we will call it user list.mustache. Basically, this is a page where admin can look at all the users. So user list page. All right. Well, but this is the admin page, so I need to validate. So I have to copy all this code. You can think of it code as like maybe a long code if you're doing some sort of a validation also, but this is all the code for validating admin. And then maybe I have like 5 other routes, 5 other GET requests that needs admin verification. So that's not good. I mean, kind of like repeating the validation code again and again. If there's a way, if when you go to these routes like admin, anything after admin, like admin slash anything, some code should just automatically run. I don't have to like do this again and again and again and again. And that is where the routes come into play. All right. So let's see how we can use the routes to help us. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to create a separate folder. So let's go ahead and do that. New folder and call it routes. It's currently empty, nothing there. All right, let's go ahead and create a route. We're going to call this route admin.js. You can call it anything, but be as descriptive as you can, because right now I'm working with admin. I want to secure this URL. Anyone who goes to admin, some code should fire automatically. Right now we're doing this by duplicating our code over here, and if I have another route over here, which is like dashboard for admin, then I have to, well, validate again if you're admin or not. So how can we make sure that we don't duplicate our code? So the first thing is we are going to require Express, and we are going to create an Express router. Now router can do the same thing as you are doing over here, which is the get request, but router can also be configured to run middleware, meaning it can run some code before executing your request. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to say over here router.use function request response and next. And then I'm just going to say console.log and middleware to authenticate the admin. Don't forget to call next. Very important. If you don't call next, it's not going to end the response. It will be just waiting, waiting, and waiting. All right. Now we can call something like router.get, go to the root function request response, and now I can say over here console.log index for admin. This is the index page, and dot render index. All right. Now this index page is not this index page, so let's go ahead and create separate index pages for admin. Let's see what it says. So that's definitely not the one. So let's remove that. All right, so that's actually no, sorry. This is the index page for admin, so let's call it admin index page. But we'll put it in a separate folder. So let's put it into a folder called admin. Let's get these two files and move it into admin. Just organizing. These files are only related to admin, so that's why we're putting it inside the admin folder, right? Nothing else. Let's go jump to our admin.js, and we can call this route user/list, and it's going to render a page user list. Keep in mind, these pages exist inside the admin folder, not the views folder. All right, after making the changes, let's jump back to our app.js. Now we have created a router which is admin.js, but the app.js needs to still use it. How do we use it? And as we learned in the last section, modularizing your Express app, you have to export it. So let's go to admin.js and look at that. I mean, we haven't even exported it. So if you don't export, no one can import. So let's go ahead and export it. Exports equals to router. All right, that's good. We have exported it. So now this means that app.js can actually import it. So let's go ahead and import the router. All right, so we're going to say constant admin router equals to require routes/admin. I think you can say admin.js. Admin is okay. All right. Now we want to say that, hey, please use the admin router. We have to tell the app to use it. So app.use, and we can put over here the path. So whenever you go to a path, anything related to admin, you're going to use admin router. So this means that we don't have to write this code over here because we have already written this code in admin.js right here and right here. Okay, so router is set. So that means if I go to the admin page, it should trigger admin router. And if we go to admin router, it should display the index page, which is right here. So let's go ahead and test it out. Let's go ahead and save it. And instead of the user list, We're just going to go, and it's not even working. So let's go ahead and see what's going on. All right, let's stop it. All right, let's go ahead and see what's going on over here. Oops, I think maybe we have left an extra. Let's go ahead and start it again. All right, everything is good. Let's go to the route, and oops, it's saying fail to look up index in views directory views. Well, that's actually true. There is no index in views directory. If you look over here, there is no. Although there is one in admin. But when we set over here, we are saying that views, please go ahead and look in the views folder. So it looks in the views folder and it says, oh yeah, there's no index file, and it just says, well, sorry, not going to work. So how can we tell this guy over here that, well, if you don't find in views, go ahead and search in some other folder like views/admin over here. And you can do that by providing an array of different folders where you can search for. So we have provided admin. So let's go ahead and refresh the page. And there we go. It's admin page. But the more important thing is that go and jump onto the console and look at what actually is happening. The middleware is firing first. And then the index page is getting rendered. Very, very important, because that's the whole point of using middleware, to fire or to be executed before the actual action or the route. So if I go into admin.js, this is the middleware. All right, and this is executed first. And every time I go to anything related to admin, it's going to execute. So admin/user list. You see that? Middleware to authenticate the admin. So this means if I go to user list in admin, if I go to the root of the admin, this middleware is getting executed, and this is a perfect opportunity for you to perform any authentication or anything you want to do. So all your authentication can come over here, and you don't have to duplicate the code like we were doing before. All right. So that's the whole point of express routing, and also in this case middleware. So we have learned kind of like two different things, middleware as well as using routing or the express router in a separate class. All right, and that's pretty much it. In the next small video, I'm going to show you that how you can actually use middleware. So some other uses of middleware that you can actually use in your application.